Alright, so these are the various shift knobs for the ND Miata. Alright, MX-5. Geez, I don't think anyone calls it MX-5. Everyone calls it Miata. I call it Miata. Anyways, so various shift knobs I have. This is the factory one. Obviously, factory one. This is a Cork Sport out of, I think, Vancouver, Washington. Just north of Portland, Oregon. This is a Voodoo Magnum, aluminum, same thing. These two are the same. This is a Craven Speed, and this is some generic teardrop I got from Amazon. So price wise, hopefully stock, I have no idea what it is. Cork Sport is pretty pricey. It's like about $100 or just over $100 shipped. The Voodoo Magnums are I think they were like $40. I got it from Goodwin Racing. I think, was it $35 or $40? I forget. Let's call it about $40. This Craven Sport is $120, I think, like $119. And this Amazon one is about $40. So the Voodoo is aluminum. This teardrop one is stainless steel. And this one, looking down it looks all plastic, so it's probably Darren, it's my guess. Same thing with the stock one. Looking in it, it's plastic. Same thing with the Cork Sport. The Craven Speed. And actually, these two companies, Cork Sport and Craven Speed, are like across the river from each other, across the Columbia River. This one, the insert in here, the thread insert, is I think also Darren as well. But it has a stainless steel weight, so the insert is I believe Darren. Oh, excuse me. Looking in it, looks like Darren. It's possible that it could be aluminum, but I think it's Darren though. Anyway, so this part right here is stainless, and it has a Darren grip cover. And the cap is, I believe, it feels like, I'm not sure what it is. I would say it's possibly aluminum, but it could possibly be Darren as well. But it's kind of hard to tell. I think it might be aluminum. So this is probably the fanciest one. It's more engineering involved. It's also the most expensive one. And these ones are there's no actual these ones are like direct screw on. So there's no changing thread insert. So the the Craven Speed one is possibly you could actually change the insert to a different thread. I think that's part of the engineering. And also this generic Amazon one, there's a thread insert you could change for different thread pitches and sizes for different shift levers, shift sticks. The stock one is let's look at the weight here. I have my little scale. It's my little OHAS. OHAS makes the best scales, I think. So zeroed out. Stock one weighs, stock one weighs 304.9, so almost 305 grams. Cork Sport weighs 308.1, so just a tiny bit heavier. Craven Speed weighs 307, so just a bit heavier than stock. The Voodoo Magnum aluminum is 169, so quite a bit lighter. It's a little bit more than half weight. It doesn't feeling it. Feeling the two. It feels more than half, but it's only half. The stainless steel one, it's so heavy that it doesn't show up here. And if you actually watch my overloaded OLD If you watch my other YouTube video where I weighed this on a different scale, it came out to 28 ounces. So 28 ounces is a pound and what's 28 ounces? A pound and 12 ounces, I think. And you know, an ounce is 28 grams. So this thing weighs, God, this thing weighs like almost, I was gonna say almost 800 grams, like 700 and something grams, I think. 789 grams or 790 grams or somewhere around there, if I can remember right. Or it could be 690, but I think it was 790, around 790. Right? So those are the various shifters that I have, and they all obviously all thread in. As far as where they sit, meaning how far they thread in. So the stock one, from the end of where you you know, the end of the thread hole, you know, to the end to the top here on the factory knob, it's about 23 millimeters. I think it's about 23 millimeters, this height right here. I think the Cork Sport it might be a little bit higher. You know, where the depth is, it might be a little bit higher, because I know the Cork Sport, it actually sits higher. You know, when I screw it on, it actually sits higher, and actually overall it's actually a little bit taller as well. So it screws on, and it pretty much screws on, you know, to the same amount down right here, I think, approximately. But looking at it, you can actually see that it's a little bit taller. So potentially the screw-in amount might be the same depth, but because this shifter is actually taller, you know, it is, you know, overall when you put it on when you screw it on your shift stick, it is taller. The Voodoo Magnum is actually very low. It sits really low. I mean, it screws on. You know, there's not much space here. It screws all the way in, and there's like hardly any space here. That's, you know, whereas the stock one, you know, that's about 23 millimeters, so that's almost an inch of space where the hole ends. So this is all solid, whereas the Voodoo Magnum, where the hole ends, it's almost to the top. So this thing sits really low. Let's look at the stock one, so we could actually kind of compare. So I actually don't have this, you know, I have my Craven Speed short shifter in here, my Craven Speed short shifter. So this is not the factory one, so this is not gonna you know, it won't be representative of this. If I actually compare it to height here, move this out of the way. If I compare it to the height here, that's pretty close to halfway of your knob here, you know, of the fan knob. And right now it's in third gear right now, I think. No, actually, no, maybe it's in first gear or third gear. I'm not sure. I think it's in first gear. So looking across, it's about halfway. Hit the knob. Let's try the Cork Sport. There's a lot of turning. Seems like Cork Sport seems like it's screwing in a little bit further. You know, actually, I didn't actually fully screw in the stock knob. So this one is slightly higher, just a tiny bit. So just a tiny bit higher. Not a whole lot. Probably only like maybe 5 millimeters. So, you know, the stock one and the Cork Sport one, the thread is that thread is, you know, the inside is you know, it's basically it's plastic. So it feels different. It feels a little bit just like this one. I can't just free spin it because of the plastic. It's kind of like, you know, it's it just feels different. All right, let's look at the Magnum, the Voodoo Magnum. You can see some of that plastic there. So this thing's all metal, so that's why it spins so easy. And this one is definitely lower, as you can see. It's down about towards the bottom of the knob. Then the Craven Speed one. The Craven Speed one is let's see how the Craven Speed one fits in. Craven Speed one spins in pretty smooth. So it's a little bit lower than the factory knob, but it's taller than the Voodoo knob. So it's just slightly bit taller than the Voodoo knob. And I have my teardrop, you know, generic one from Amazon. This one is longer than the rest of them. This one is like almost 3 inches in length, and since it's a universal, it has various inserts for, you know, various threads. So this one's pretty tall too. I think it's a little bit shorter than the Court Sport though. Yeah, maybe they're about the same. So that's a big son of a bitch. So actually, I think it is a little bit shorter than the Court Sport. It might thread in a little bit deeper. Height-wise, it might not be much of a difference in overall height. It might be the same actually, but it screws in deeper, so it sits lower. Yeah, so those are the 5 different knobs I have. Well, actually, there's 6 here. The reason why I have 2 Magnums, Voodoo Magnum, is the first one they sent me, the thread, it didn't thread into the shifter. You know, I was spun on twice, and that was it. And it got hard to spin. So I knew the thread wasn't right. Something was wrong with the thread. So they sent me another one, and that one was kind of rough too. It wasn't spinning that nicely either. I was like, man, what the heck's up with that? Even though they told me that they tried it on the shifter and it worked all right, but I didn't want to take a chance. And so I took a tap and die, or I should say tap set. You know, 10 millimeter by 1.25 millimeter tap, and I tapped both of them, and now they both thread in real nice, real smooth. So that's why I have 2 of them. So anyway, obviously the stock one, I didn't quite like the ball. I felt it was too small. So I got the Cork Sport. The reason why I chose the Cork Sport is because my preference is I like a soft touch. I like the leather touch, right? And this is pretty good. You know, if I had kept the stock shifter, I would have kept this Cork Sport. But you know, obviously I have a Craven Speed short throw shifter here. So because of that, you know, when you get a short shifter, they're basically all metal on metal. It's all very, very direct. So because of that, and you know, and the vibration and such, the vibration will transmit through. So it's basically it's kind of noisy. You know, it buzzes, it vibrates at certain especially at certain RPMs. It buzzes more than others. So the really the only reliable way to get rid of that or reduce that noise, you know, the vibration is still there, but it just reduces it quite a bit, is to basically get a heavier shifter. The heavier shifter will absorb those vibrations. Yeah, that's the reason why I got this big boy right here. This thing, when you put it on there, it absorbs a lot, and it's like, it's of all these ones, this is the quietest one on this short shifter. So this is the quietest one I have. So that's why, you know, got rid of this, because, you know, this is pretty much the same weight as the factory. And, you know, and this Craven speed shifter knob comes with a quick shifter. So they sell it as a package, and this, you know, this is, you know, pretty much the same as the factory as well. So it's not as so it still, you know, still has those certain frequencies where it buzzes more, you know, where you can hear it, because it's not enough mass, not enough weight to reduce the noise. All right, so you know, that's why I prefer this. And the Magnum obviously is the lightest one, so it's the worst one as far as noise goes. As far as shape goes, you know, the balls, they always look cool. You know, there's very classic, you know, look of the ball, but the ball just doesn't quite, they never quite feel right in my hands. I don't know, I just don't like the ball very much. They feel okay, but not quite right. The Craven Speed one feels pretty good, actually. I think the Craven Speed one, feels better than the Craven Speed one feels better than the balls. So the Craven Speed one is kind of like a modified ball. And you see, it's kind of like it sort of has a topper. Kind of, I'm holding the top, and sort of teardrop-ish shape as well. Because it's wide on the top and narrower on the bottom, right? It's kind of teardrop shape, you know, like so. Wide on the top and narrow on the bottom. So it has a little bit of everything. So that's that. This, you know, this lopsided one, you know, it's kind of like a golf club sort of. This one feels pretty good too. Especially depends on how you hold it. If you hold it straight from the top, it feels pretty good. If you hold it straight sideways, it feels pretty good. But if you hold it the way that I like to hold it, at a 45, you know, my backhand is at a 45-degree angle, it feels kind of odd because of this angle right here. It just feels kind of weird. Actually, you'd be holding with my right hand, because, you know, because this is a left-hand drive. So I'll be holding like this. So this way doesn't feel too bad. This way doesn't feel that bad either. But holding it like so, was at 45 degrees, this part right here, it feels more angular, and I can feel that. So I don't like that. And the ball actually kind of feels better, because the ball, doesn't matter which you know, you hold it from the top or the side, whatever, it always feels the same. So from the 45 angle, it actually feels better than this, because this right here has that sort of a, you know, it gives it kind of an angle feel to it. Same thing with the cork sport. The cork sport, it feels great holding it from the top. It holds great holding it like this. It feels good holding it like this as well, but from the 45, it feels kind of odd because of that, you know, because of this angle here. Just, you know, it feels, you know, the angle always feels like it kind of digs in a little bit more. So there's like always like a little bit more pressure right there, and down towards the bottom here, there's hardly any pressure, and the top here, hardly any pressure. So those ones, they make it feel kind of awkward. This is not, you know, this is a very high quality, very nice Craven Speed part. It's, you know, as far as the grip wise, I think of all these ones, this one has like the best feeling grip, because of you know, because of all these little grooves that's been cut out. So this feels real nice. But my favorite shape is actually the teardrop. The teardrop, I can hold it, you know, sideways, it feels okay. Hold it from the top, it feels okay. Hold it from the 45-degree angle, it feels okay. Every degree, it feels okay. These little shorty ones, you know, when the height's real short, Same thing with the craving speed. When the height speed is short, and I'm because I hold every angle. You know, sometimes I hold one angle, sometimes I hold the other. But when I hold it like this, I don't like this short height, because my, you know, where my pinky and the bottom of my palm here, it actually rubs. It rubs on the bag, on this cover. Or sometimes because they're so short, my hand ends up being, you know, sitting on the bag, and I don't like that. I don't like that feel. So that's why I prefer the teardrop. The teardrop, I'm still on there, and my fingers doesn't touch the bag at all. So I prefer the teardrop. This teardrop one is actually kind of big, a little bit too big for my preference. So for the most part, I think these ones are like 2 inches in diameter, 2 inches diameter. This one I'm not sure. This one is less, you know, it's kind of small. This one's a little bit bigger. It's probably about 2 inches as well, but this one is more. This one is like over 8 and this one is more like 2 3/16 maybe. So it's definitely bigger. You know, it's about 55 millimeters. So that's pretty big. You know, I prefer like a 50, 51, maybe 52 at the most millimeters. So it's 2 inches is 51 and a half, about, you know, 51 and a half millimeters, or just under that actually. 51.4, no, let's see, inches, 25.8, so that'd be 50.8 would be 2 inches. So under 51 actually is 2 inches. So this one's a little bit big. I actually have another shift on order. It's just gonna be like just like this. You know, this is pretty close to 3 inches in length. The one I order is from WC Latheworks, I think they're called. So it's, you know, it's about the same length, but the width here is gonna be 2 inches instead of, you know, basically 51 millimeters instead of 54. You know, 50 or so. So that one's gonna be a little bit more comfortable, I think, a little bit smaller. So this one, if you have really big hands, it would be perfect on you. Or if I have bigger hands, you know, I'm not a tall guy. I'm only on a good day, I'm only 5'7", so my hand's not that big. This one's a little big. Yeah. So those are my various shifters, what I have. So I'm probably actually gonna, well, I'm always gonna keep the stock one, obviously. I'm gonna return this one to Craven Speed. I'm actually gonna sell these 3. So now that I tapped these 2, both of these work perfectly now. They both screw on really well, nice and smooth, and they hold good, both of them. This one as well. Oops. So yeah, so both of them are good. So the Cork Sport I'm probably gonna sell too. So these 3 I'm gonna sell. I'll probably end up selling this teardrop one too as well. I mean, this one only cost me, you know, like $40, so it's not much money. And actually, these ones are about the same price, so it's not much money. So I'm probably gonna sell them for maybe like half price shipped, you know, or half price plus shipping or something like that. Cork Sport, I don't know, maybe like 70 or $80 shipped, maybe, or $70 shipped, $80, somewhere around there. So anyways, so those are my various shift knobs. I have one more on the way, and that one I'm gonna get is, you know, it's just like this, but it's just a little bit smaller in diameter. And it's actually gonna have grooves like the Cork Sport is. It has little grooves, so it gives you a little bit more grip. So the smooth one, it feels really nice, but you know, sometimes your hands are not necessarily you know, clean and dry. You know, sometimes your hands are a little oily or a little greasy or whatever. Maybe you just ate something, and you wipe your hands with napkins, but you know, a napkin doesn't really get rid of the greasiness, right? So there's a little bit of greasiness, so it could make this kind of slippery. The good thing about this smoothness is that it's really easy to clean. You know, the other day I just took some denatured alcohol with a napkin and I just wiped this real fast. You know, 2 seconds later it was like spanking new, good as new, cleanliness wise, anyways. Yeah. Oh, this video's been kind of long-winded. Oh, I didn't even do any measurements either. I should have done some measurements. I think this one is about 2 inches. This cork sport. But anyways, you guys could probably get the specifications on them going to their website. So yeah, so that's it. Thank you.